but it does not give me the option to record. Okay, perfect. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining our community client support call tonight. I am Stephanie J. Cox, and I am a health coach here at Optavia. And I'm so excited. Client success really changed many people's lives. So for myself, I started this journey 3.5 years ago, and it's changed my 45 pounds in 4.5 months the entire time. Set that I acquired throughout the journey has honestly been my favorite part of the whole thing. And, I have gone on to, share this journey with tons and tons of other people, and that has just been a huge blessing as well. So I want to go ahead and introduce you. We have two absolutely amazing speakers tonight that are going to share their journeys as well with you. So their girlfriend to share with us. Take yourself off mute and we will pop you up. I don't have hosting abilities to remove her from mute.
Did you call on me, Steph? I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear you. Take it away, girlfriend. Share with us what your journey has been.
I wasn't sure if you had called on me first. Hey guys, my name's Maria Elena. So my journey is a bit. I might cry. I'll just let you know ahead of time. So I'll kind of start. I found Optavia, or I should say Optavia found me in 2015. A co-worker and his wife were doing the program. I kind of watched him. I thought he was crazy, and told him he was eating space food. This was in 2014 though. So almost a year went by. In that time frame, I was still struggling with my weight. I have actually struggled with my weight since I was probably 5 years old. I was always the chunky sibling, the chunky friend. I went through a really bad phase where I was just pretty much not eating. I was using diet pills for almost 10 years. So I was just all over the place with my weight since I was little. But so I met my coach in 2014. I saw him do the program, thought he was crazy. I went on to try to do my own thing and still had no success. In that time frame, my now husband and I were diagnosed with infertility. So when we basically were told that we needed to go through IVF in order to conceive, I started doing a bunch of research, found out that I needed to basically be in a healthy BMI in order to give it a better chance. The first person I thought of was my coach. I remember thinking, I don't care what that food tastes like, I just know I need to lose the weight so that we can move forward with this treatment. So I did program. I lost the 5-in-1. I lost 40 pounds in about 5 months. I felt amazing. Never felt the way that I did in my entire life. So I did really good with program. We had to postpone in vitro because I lost my insurance when I got laid off, and we basically had to come up with $25,000 to move forward with our family dream. So naturally, because I had lost the weight, friends and family members started asking what I was doing. They wanted to know what I had done. So I started coaching. In 2015, July, I actually was able to use coaching to pay for IVF. So my son is almost 9 months. He'll be 9 months on the 10th. This is actually him right here. I was able to put on a very healthy weight throughout my entire pregnancy because of everything that I learned with coaching and nutrition support. And after having him, I was actually able to get on Nursing Mothers program, and I'm back down to my pre-baby weight. So that's basically my journey. Came in for the healthy body and obviously gained so much more than just a healthy body. One thing, I don't know if I know I still have a few minutes. So one thing I wanted to share, because I kind of was spinning my wheels today what I should talk about other than my story, is as a coach, I kind of realized that I know that there's other coaches here for us on the call with me, is that we constantly have to work on our why, why we're doing this, why we're trying to do a healthy body or a healthy coaching business. Our why is super important. Naturally, my little guy was my big why, and that's kind of why I just stuck to the program, fell in love with the community, and then got the healthy finances to help us get him here today. So I'm gonna finish with that because he's about to lose his patience. Sorry, guys.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Girl, I have never heard your true story, your whole story. And that is just truly amazing. He is so cute and I am so happy for you. Does
Thank
anyone have any questions for her? Just take yourself off mute and you can come on and ask anything you'd like. No questions. Look at that, girlfriend. You rocked it. So I do have a really quick question for you.
Yes.
So if you were to give someone advice who, maybe was in the same situation and they were trying to get pregnant and couldn't, what advice would you give them as far as if they had fear about becoming a coach and whether they had weight loss or not? What advice would you give them as far as, just taking that chance and seeing what would happen?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a two-part answer to this. I learned along the journey of coaching before we started IVF that the eating habits we carry with this program and even after is actually there's research that is linking it to helping egg quality. So, for example, if a woman is unable to conceive because of a female-related infertility, having this new way of eating, where we're cutting out the excess carb and sugar, is actually going to help the DNA of that egg. I know it goes into a lot of science, but I learned that along the way. So for me, I felt it reinforced even more why I wanted to continue coaching and why I felt like finding Optavia helped us actually get to where we're at today. But for someone who maybe doesn't necessarily need the weight loss aspect or the healthy body, coaching is literally what you want it to be. There is nobody telling you have to clock in or clock out at a certain time. There is nobody telling you have to, hit a goal in order to get X, Y, and Z. Literally, the time you have to put into it. My gosh, the investment that you put into the business is literally pennies in comparison to what you can make. I've had months where I was able to make a couple extra hundred. I had a couple months where I was able to make up to almost $2,000 extra a month. That was money I was able to just put into savings or maybe pay off, another bill that allowed us to restructure our finances to where we were able to pay for our fertility treatments. So you don't have anything to lose. Our coaching kit is less than a trip to Disneyland if you live in California. It's literally less than, a nice purse. So there really is nothing to lose with coaching. There's going to be so much that you gain from it. And I'm not even tapping into talking to family members and friends that are starting to feel better about themselves, that are having better relationships with their spouse because now they feel confident. That's a completely different, part of coaching that I can go on for days about. So it's just there's nothing for you to lose with coaching. You've gained so much more. That's
Awesome.
I can say.
Awesome. That is so amazing. I know that with your story, you will truly inspire so many, whether they're on the call now or listening to the playback. So thank you so much for sharing that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So Marilena, my sister was told that she could never have a healthy baby after a miscarriage, right? And so that was one of the first people that I helped on this program when I became a coach. And check this out. I have a niece because of this program too, which is super cool. So we have 2 human lives that wouldn't be here without this program, you know? So it's pretty awesome. But my question to you is this. So, and I love that we talked about the coaching aspect of this too, because that is, I mean, that's what this program evolves into so that we can stay healthy. And I learned that as a coach. And it's been huge for me the last 5 years. But so you're looking at needing $25,000 for what you want to do. You know, how do you have this mindset that let me go ahead and put some money out, even though it's not much, for coaching, when most people are thinking, you know, what I think most people are thinking, well, I need $25,000. I can't go spending a penny anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
So how does that mindset, like what was your thought process? Because, I mean, being a coach, I mean, you saw what the program did, but I mean, honestly, you probably thought like, I don't know what it really entails, right?
Yeah, so initially, I'll be honest with you. Initially, I thought if I can get my food paid for, so I can continue this program, then that's essentially the reason I started coaching at first. But then once I got in contact with my mentor coach, give me a second, with my mentor coach, and we kind of talked about the possibilities in earning potential. And I guess when you really break down, like, well, I know 5 people already that want to do the program. This is how much money I would make helping those 5 people do what they already want to do anyways. And then that just completely opened up my eyes. I even going into the program, I knew it was an investment to order the program versus what I was spending on eating out. I do the math for everything. So I basically realized that I was spending about $25 on average a day eating out, going out on the weekends, having a drink here, you know, and an appetizer there, versus what the program actually cost. So I already knew I was saving money that way. But then when I realized coaching was so inexpensive and I could potentially make X, Y, and Z, for me, it was a no-brainer. It was an investment I was making. And like I said, I mean, we can spend $200 going out on a nice dinner. That's like a one-time thing, you know, one weekend, $200, going to the movies or going to a dinner. So I knew a lot of people that wanted to do the program, so I figured why not. My big was really why. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I rambled.
For sure. No, you're good. Look, I love the fact that you were able to kind of break it down and realize that, you know what, you were spending this money, you know, on other things, eating out, drinks, whatever. And, you know, it just was a no-brainer. So girl, I love you to death. You just are such an inspiration. Okay, so before we go on to our next guest, if you will please make sure that your phone is muted, because we have a lot of background noise from some of the lines that are not muted. And so our next guest, I'm so excited to bring on my man Blake. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
Awesome. Take it away, sir. Tell us about your story.
Well, my story, I've known Joe for many years, Joe Otto, and been watching this. And back in March, I decided to give Joe a call, which was probably the best call I've made in a long time. Great catching up with my other old friend from high school. And since March now, I've lost 65 pounds. It's great to be able to bend over and tie my shoes and still breathe. It's been a great journey. It's, you know, I wouldn't say I was one of the best clients we had, but it has helped out. The program, like I said, really done well for me. I feel so much better. I can, walk further, work harder, and not feel so bad at the end of the day. Been really happy with everything that Joe's helped me out with, through a few little tough times, but it's really worked out wonderful for me. Like I said, 65 pounds since March, and can't ask for anything better than that. And I've just now signed, I'd signed up to be a coach, but some few things that slowed me down on trying to get that in gear, but trying to work that out. But pretty much been my best story. I went from 260, now I'm down to 195, and feeling very good now. And thank you, Joe, for everything. Appreciate all the help.
That is awesome. You look, anytime a client gets into Wonderland, like under 200, it's such a huge thing, like that's something so many people try to achieve and fail, with other things. And man, 65 pounds, you are rocking it. Congratulations. And I love the fact that you really appreciate the little things that are really big things, just being able to like bend over and tie your shoes, like that's things in our before lives that we sometimes take for granted because we just live life at the heavyweight,
Yeah.
And so that is so awesome. I am so proud of you. And now you decided to pay it forward. And regardless if you help one person or millions of people, man, you are making such a difference and your story will truly inspire many. So I am so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. What questions do we have for Mr. Blake? Feel free to unmute your line and you will come into the meeting so you can speak.
I got a question. Great story, Blake. 65 pounds is huge. Congratulations. That's huge. Who wants to walk around with 2 big bags of dog food on their shoulders every day? That's huge, right? But what else have you noticed? Have you noticed anything else besides when you lost the weight, just, pain, sleeping, all that kind of stuff, kind of non-scale victim stuff?
More sound sleep. Walk, taking 2 steps at a time on the stairs now instead of 1 at a time. It's, it's really, it's like a life improvement. Honestly, it really has been.
Very cool. And not to mention how many years you probably just added to your life.
Yeah.
Right? How many people think about that? Very cool.
Hey, Blake. I know that you do a lot of the Jeep rallies and stuff like that. How has that improved for you? I'm just kind of curious because I know you spend a lot of time. I don't know what some kind of off-roading type adventure.
Well, hey, once I did my lift kit on my Jeep, it was a struggle getting in and out of my Jeep. Now I grab a grab handle, yank myself right up in there like I was a kid again. I mean, it's feel like a kid again sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Because when you first started, you were just putting that lift kit on. I remember that.
Yeah. And boy, that was a miserable 3 days installing that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, I really wish I would have lost this weight before I did that lift kit. It wore me out.
Yeah. All right. I was just kind of curious. I figured it had to help. I was just curious.
It has helped out a lot.
Awesome.
I appreciate everything, Joe. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the fun of coaching.
Any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, sir. That is amazing. And I love hearing stories of transformation where, your life has changed. Just, you know, like Joe was saying with your Jeep, that's huge, you know, like just being able to do the things that you truly love and not having that constant struggle that maybe we had before. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us.
All right, thank you.
So before we conclude our call tonight, I do just want to touch on our healthy habit for the week. So each week we talk about a different, you know, just health tip of the week. And with October being Breast Cancer Awareness, there's a few things that are highlighted this week in our healthy habit that really have to do with that. So obviously we want to make sure, you know, for women that you're doing early detections and screenings, you know, when you need to. Making sure that you're eating healthy, so eating your vegetables, eating your proteins, and obviously if you're on plan with any type of program through Optavia, you know, you're definitely getting your nutrients in. You know, stay active, even if it's just going for a 30-minute walk daily or a few times a week, that definitely helps. Different things like giving up cigarettes, those are not good, and obviously, you know, can be associated with some of the risk with breast cancer in women. And then also alcohol. So giving up the alcohol, releasing that, and just really living an overall healthy life will really help to reduce your risk of breast cancer. So I appreciate everyone jumping on this call today. If you got anything out of this call, put a 1 in the chat, because I know that I was so inspired and so motivated by our stories and our guests that we heard here today. If you have any questions about the program or any of the stories of transformation that you heard, be sure to reach back out to the person who invited you to this call, and they'll be happy to answer any questions for you. And if not, that concludes our call. I look forward to seeing all of you next week, same time, same place. Talk to you later.